What is up, everybody? It's TV here today. So we have a post where David Jaffe, the creator of God of War, the original God of War series, he is dispelling a myth that Game Pass is just harming the developers once again, because this narrative constantly is being displayed on social media, how Game Pass is hurting developers, how they aren't getting paid or something like that. So this is what he said about the statement about the situation. He said, the more comments I read from gamers criticizing Game Pass to pose harm to developers, the more I'm convinced these gamers are under the impression Xbox just decides what game it wants on their service. And if you're the unlucky dev who gets picked, woe unto you. Tip is negotiated. So he tries to make it like gamers think you're just picking straws and you just be whoever get the short straw, your game's on Game Pass. But no, it's like the developers and I guess publishers have a deal with Xbox. It's like they have a set amount for their game to be on Game Pass. That's like obvious to me and I guess other reasonable people, but I guess he has to like further explain this to some people because they just don't get it. But this is what people thoughts about what his comment was. That's for sure. However, even if the publishers devs get paid, bargain terms of their Game Pass entry, the outcomes remains games entered into the service just have a much lower completion rate compared to other platforms. This proves that the majority of the subscribers just don't give a f about what Microsoft brings to them. I can't even imagine how the devs put their blood and sweat on their games feel when their years of effort becomes a demo check on Game Pass. So far, no developer I have spoken to has been unhappy with Game Pass in any real way, and did not feel that it hurts them as they had a choice also into how they made the deal. I can't help but think that Game Pass will influence the type of games that most of their studios make. Great games usually take 4 to 5 years to make, especially AAA games. I feel like we are going to get more bleeding edge, grounded, and less big budget games. We'll see. And yet, Netflix and Amazon has more Oscar and Emmy nominations than the traditional studios. That subscription leads to lower quality is simply not proven. Facts. It's like both of these services has movies that's like really highly rated on these services. That's exclusive to their services. Like so, the low quality thing, as people like to say, that's not true. It's strange as they always use game sales for Game Pass games to prove it's killing gaming. Second, I was still on Game Pass, so I didn't buy it. I instead used the money to buy Death's Door and Songs of Iron. Two games I bought with savings I got from Game Pass. They can't grasp how this works. I go even deeper and say without Game Pass, I wouldn't have discovered how much I love indie games. Would have probably skipped on Death's Door. It's my game of the year so far. Beyond that, devs have a choice in how they get paid as each contract is individually crafted. It could be upfront lump sum based on engagement, or a combination of both. It also has zero requirements about launching on other platforms. Let's see. Eurogamers also did an excellent round of interviews on the subject. Some devs love it because it acts as a pseudo publisher. Other devs because it makes IP more visible / discoverable. Others because it adds a revenue stream for older titles. It's like multiple reasons why they like Game Pass. I've not really seen a negative so far. People like game publishers hate Game Pass. Game publishers would continue to keep putting their games on the service if it didn't work for them, aka Sega and Square Enix, just to name two. Hell, even EA and T2, I'm assuming that's Take-Two? I don't know what T2 means. Arguably some of the greediest publishers in the industry. Game Pass is an amazing service, and although I have it and I don't use it much, it's amazing. That said, I have no wonder what it means as far as the return on investment on some of the AAA games from the big studios they have acquired. Or a developer can choose not to have their game in Game Pass. It's free money in my opinion. Not only do you get money from the downloads of however they do it, but you get 100% of the sales. It's a win-win for the developers. Don't understand the PlayStation fanboys take. They use charts to dictate the overall results of games that sell. That's all they use. Take away the charts, so they don't have anything. Yeah, like NPD sales. That's the main thing I was using Psychonauts 2 to say why I wasn't profitable. But I'm pretty sure the game is doing well for the developers. I don't know. Let's see. And they need to organize to feed the devs campaign and raise money to help troubled developers that are getting harmed. What? Uh, let's see. I would imagine there's quite a few studios out there that breathe a bit sigh of relief when Xbox accepted their game onto Game Pass. I don't think people understand how much the service helps the industry. This is how they think things are. Xbox hunting games for Game Pass. Like the Terminator, small devs, defense is not waiting to be on Game Pass. Okay. This is very strange to me. Like, I can understand some people believing and maybe they're right, who knows, that in terms of total users, or maybe people who play X portion of the game, Xbox Game Pass games do poorly. But in terms of money to the dev, I'm pretty sure they're well paid. Let's see if someone quote tweets. Let's see. Say it louder for the people in the back. Any strategy that is different compared to what Sony is doing is automatically branded as weird and scary. Pretty sure any game on Game Pass is consensual, and the developers put PlayStation fans act like they're signing their own death sentence. Yeah, they do act like that. The more you know, the better. Makes you wonder how brain dead the devs are. Anyone not in the actual dev studio, or at least in the game industry, are only showing their bias when they say anything to do with Game Pass and its sales. Clearly, it works for some devs, and that's only a good thing for us. Someone speaking some sense about Xbox Game Pass. That's exactly what the hell they think. Microsoft just has unsuspecting games lined up and it's like a firing squad, like in the Hunger Games. And the one who gets picked is likely never going to make a video game ever again because they're going out of business. This is the problem with the fanboy logic. They don't bother to really think about how all of this works. It's a lot easier just to scream, "I hate." Yep, I heard of there's a queue. Multiple companies want their games on the service. So multiple companies got a queue set up for these different developers to put their games on the servers. And I'm pretty sure the devs are definitely happy with how Game Pass is, how Microsoft is doing Game Pass. So it just shows you that these Sony fanboys are just ridiculous. It's like they want to say how Game Pass is doom and gloom and how it's so bad, but if there's a queue and multiple companies want to put their games on Game Pass, it's obviously a good thing going on for this industry. Let's see. I talked about this so much. LOL, the only losers from Game Pass losing is Xbox. Woe to the devs who shall tribute their game through Game Pass. This couldn't have been worded better. Xbox is the king, just point a game, and Viola is added to Game Pass, what the devs saying. Game Pass is a great service. People just want to complain when they can't just simply not support it and go about their day. Call them what they are, ponies. The bottom line is, if you're a Game Pass subscriber, you're way less likely to buy games. As a gamer who wants the quality of games to always improve, that isn't good. Why spend hundreds on millions of AAA titles when Microsoft is paying up for indies? Just saying. Somebody on Twitter who blocked me 13 times in 1 year told me Microsoft forces devs while paying them to put their games on Game Pass. Microsoft was forcing devs to put their games on Game Pass. That's just ridiculous. What are they, like the mafia or something? Like, how are they forcing devs to put their games on Game Pass? It's not all the time I agree or even understand what Jaffe says. Mostly it's the new generation and this one of those optimized times. As the boss says, let him and Saudi worry about the financials and business side. It's their job and they ain't worried. Y'all just focus on gaming. I wish people would just focus on gaming, but no. It's always these stupid fanboy debates. Indeed, even some people in media judging from so many articles seem to fail to understand that being on Game Pass is pretty much the same as publishing a deal with the money guaranteed in advance and negotiable is good for the devs. They're getting paid in advance and exposure. Yep, those people don't understand how it works. Yeah, he doesn't understand the lack of intelligence associated with the hardcore PlayStation audience. One day, Jaffe will understand a low IQ is required to cap for Sony. Yeah, so those are like David Jaffe thoughts about this whole Game Pass situation about devs getting paid or not, and it's just like I agree with him. It's like obviously they're making a deal before the game is on Game Pass. It's like obvious to most people, but to these PlayStation guys, they are like Xbox is the mafia or something. They just forcing their games on Game Pass. I don't know what they think. It's just weird, but definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like if you like the video, and as always, thanks for watching and peace.